Oof, live streaming is quite difficult. The technology is quite unpredictable, but here we are. Let's try something new. I'll wait till some people show up. Does it say that I'm live, Reed?
Yeah.
It does? Okay. It's okay, here.
I can't tell if it's sending audio to my headphones that I'm not wearing or.
Does it say that I'm live, Reed? Okay, you can hear the audio this time. Okay. It's okay, here. All right, what's up, guys? Does it say that I'm live, Reed? Okay, you can hear the audio this time. All right, cool. I think we're getting there, guys. All right. Let's wait till a couple more people come in and we will get started. And okay, just so you guys know, I have been so focused on my YouTube channel that live streaming has not been, hashed out quite yet. So that is definitely one of my goals for these next few months is to figure out a better system for my live streaming. But currently I'm just gonna, use my phone right now. And as long as you guys can hear me, that's all I care about. So, hey guys, welcome. I'm glad that we got this off the ground. We were having a lot of technical difficulties. Typically we use an app called OBS for our live streaming, but I don't know what is going on with that app, but it truly doesn't work. Every single time we try, it just doesn't work. So welcome to my live stream on my phone, which honestly, it's kind of fun because it feels like I'm on FaceTime with you guys and it's like a little less official. So, and when it comes to, my videos on YouTube, it's like very, very professional and like high quality. So I actually don't mind, doing my live streams on my phone or my camera. All right. What's up, guys? Hey, Karra, I love your videos. Thank you. I don't know how to say your name, but I'll try. Vijmen Hoojboom. You're funny. Okay, so, all right, what's up, guys? We are going to, I'm finally seeing some comments come in. This is awesome. All right, cool. All right, so hello to everybody in my live stream currently, and I am so excited to be here today. July is my birthday month, so every single July I do a 50% off sale on my website at imkarra.com, where you can get all of my vocal templates, vocal sample packs, plugin presets, and music courses for 50% off. It's my biggest sale of the year, besides Black Friday. Black Friday, I always do 60% off, but July, I always do 50. So that's currently what's going on right now. All right, let me look at some of y'all's comments. What's up? What's up, Elliot, Gabo, Aaron? Aaron says, just go to the room of cameras. Well, unfortunately, we tried to use my nice cameras and we couldn't get OBS to connect to my YouTube channel. So that's why we are streaming on the phone right now. So as much as I would like to use my nice cameras, it's just not gonna happen right now. My goal is to actually set up a live streaming room in maybe one of my rooms upstairs so that I don't have to break it down or set up all this equipment. But I like the way the phone looks. Like, I look good, right? So whatever, it is what it is. I watch all of your videos. They're so good. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been working really hard at developing my YouTube channel these past like 6 months. It's been my main focus, and I truly couldn't be happier with how things are, coming out. It's been quite the challenge, but Reed and I have been working very diligently, very hard at getting you guys top-notch content on YouTube. So thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Elliot says, I'm currently researching Synology NAS for my dad, and I showed him your video, and now we're getting one for his business. So huge win. That is freaking awesome. congrats. And thank you so much for watching my video and, you know, getting all that good information there. That's exactly why I do these product reviews, so that people can make a well-educated decision when they are purchasing something of that, you know, size. You know, and Synology NAS, it's a very expensive product, but it's worth it when you have a business and you have a lot of storage space that you need. We've been finding our Synology NAS to be very helpful for all of the different files that we are accumulating with all of our projects. So it's really great to see you getting one for yourself. That's great. Hi, Gregor. What's up? What's up? Elliot says, happy birthday, by the way. Thank you. My birthday is July 22nd, and that's coming up very soon. I'm very excited. July is always a fun month for me just because it is my birthday, and I don't know what it is about birthday months, but it doesn't like feel like a real month, you know? It's like an extra special time. So I'm excited. Oronde, are you a classically trained singer or just learned yourself? Ooh, that's a great question. I actually am a classically trained singer. My mom was my voice teacher. So she actually went to college for music, and she majored in voice. And there was another major that she had, I think it was like something with music therapy. So she worked with a lot of people in hospitals and doing music classes for young kids and stuff like that. So when she got done with, you know, working at all of the hospitals, she started her own lessons at the home. So I actually grew up with my mom doing all of her voice lessons in my house. And so that's why I have a very good ear. I have been training my voice ever since I was a little girl. She's been teaching me classical music. I've learned all the Broadway show tunes, all the arias. I myself was in music classes, and I went to college for music business and voice and all sorts of stuff. So I'm definitely educated when it comes to music. But that being said, I think music is more of an intuitive practice for me. You know, a lot of people get stressed out when they're like, oh, well, how do I learn all this music theory? How do I get good at it? Honestly, if you want to learn how to sing, you can do it. I think anybody has the ability to learn how to sing. And just growing up with my mom and her students, I heard my mom take her students that literally couldn't sing a note in tune, and only a few years later, they were incredible vocalists. So yeah, shout out to my mom for teaching me how to sing. All right. Yeah, so I'm just gonna dig into all of your questions. So we're doing an Ask Me Anything stream. So anything that you guys are curious about, go ahead and type your questions and I will get to it. Before we really dig into that, I just want to mention one more time that I'm doing a 50% off sale at imkarra.com. All of my vocal sample packs, vocal templates for every popular DAW. My cat is meowing in the background. He always seems to to do that when I'm on live stream. And it's very distracting. All of my music courses and plugin presets are all 50% off. And so if you guys are Serum users, I have a bunch of Serum presets. I have presets for Mookie. Here, 1 second. Come here. You want to come on live stream? You want to come on live stream and say hi to everybody since you're so vocal? All right. Look, everybody, it's Mookie. So this is actually technically my neighbor's cat, but he kind of just moved in because he loves us so much, and we have other cats. But anyway, you'll see Mookie pop in on some of my videos every once in a while, so he's very much a part of the family now. All right, now go be quiet. Now I got cat fur all over me. All right, so anyway, 50% off sale at imkarra.com for the entire month of July, which is my birthday month. So get the lowest prices of the year this month. And actually, on Monday, I have a new session coming out. It's producing a deep house song from scratch. And I have to be honest, I think this is my favorite session that I've ever recorded. I freaking love the song that I made for this. And so if you are interested in learning how to produce deep house or just EDM in general, you're gonna love this video coming out. And it features my vocal sample pack, which if you guys are producers and you want to learn more about how to get creative with my vocal samples, then this video is going to be very helpful for you. So that's exciting. Monday, very very good song that we made for this video, and it's my favorite music video that I filmed. I just feel like the more that I create these videos, the more I tap into my creativity and expand. So I just feel like with every video I get better and better, which is like very exciting because I've been working so hard. I mean, I think I started my YouTube channel in 2020. So it's been a good like 5 years of developing my content here and yeah, just hashing it out and kind of like tapping into new territories with each video. So that's exciting. All right, let me look at some of y'all's comments. We have a lot of people in the house today. That's awesome. Yay. Okay. All right, let me see. Where did I leave off? Okay. So, Reed just deplugged me. Okay, here we go. Oh. Okay, so you guys are asking a lot of really great questions. And also, whenever I live stream, you don't have to just ask me a question. You can always like share your thoughts or just share any, information or any part of your story that you want to share and that you want me to talk to you about or give you advice on or anything like that. I am the queen of advice. I started my content strategy almost 10 years ago by doing these posts called Advice by Karra. And I would basically just like teach people how to negotiate splits with, other artists and just documenting, what it's actually like to be a songwriter, working with producers and artists and releasing music. And so, yeah, I love giving advice. So if there's anything that you guys like have questions on, then live stream is the place to do it. Okay, so, all right. So Joel asks, hi, Karra, what do you think about the future of musicians while AI innovations coming up? So, there's a couple thoughts that I have. I am not on board or a fan of unethical AI. I think it is definitely very frustrating that there are, pages on Spotify that are, raking in streams and making a ton of money and it's just AI music. I'm definitely not a fan of that. I think that's a huge insult to actual musicians who have been working on this for years and are real people and they have real lives and bills to pay. And yeah, that definitely is a little frustrating, but I also feel like there are a lot of cool AI tools, and you're actually gonna see one of the plugins that I'm using in my session that I'm posting on Monday. I'm using a plugin called Sound ID Voice AI. And so I'm actually using that plugin to create sounds to make my music. And so I definitely don't mind, plugins like that make it a lot easier and more accessible for people to create music. I think that's great. But yeah, the unethical kind of AI where there are, pages that are just raking in streams and kind of like canceling out, real artists. I'm not a fan of that. And yeah, and Spotify should demonetize those pages, but they're not gonna. YouTube does though. I actually just found out that YouTube started to demonetize AI channels, which is a huge win for YouTube, and that's why I love this platform. So shout out to YouTube for demonetizing AI. And yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. I'm a fan of ethical AI, and I'm not a fan of unethical AI. Okay, so let's see. I'm getting a lot of comments here. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to find my spot again. Okay, so Wisdom says, love your content. Thanks for being an honest entrepreneur. Thank you. I am honored to be an honest entrepreneur. I think I pride myself on sharing my authentic journey and being real and showing you guys actually how to create music and what goes into it. That's always been a huge passion of mine. And the reason why is because when I first was learning how to produce my own music, I was very reliant on other people. And I just felt like I wanted to be more self-sufficient and learn how to produce music myself so that I didn't always have to rely on other producers to get anything done. And so that's definitely been a challenge for me over the years is you know, just learning how to produce music. And so it's a huge honor for me to be able to share this information with you, because I know the struggles that I went through when I was first starting to learn how to make music. And so it's just information that I feel like everybody deserves the opportunity to have access to if they choose to learn how to make music and or be in the music industry. I think it's important that, you know, not everybody can be a professional musician, but everybody can make music. And whether that be as a hobby or for fun or for a profession, I just think that it's important that people like me are sharing this valuable information so that you guys can actually learn how to do it yourself. And so that's kind of my motivation every day is to share things and share the process so that you are inspired and that you can be educated on this topic. So I'm really glad that you enjoy it. All right, so hello, Karra. I'm a big fan from Mizoram, India. Oh, thank you, Remti. That is so freaking cool. I have a lot of fans from India and Africa and really all over the world. Brazil, I see, yeah, comment where you're from because I love seeing that. I think it's so cool to be able to reach people across the world and to know that you guys are joining me, you know, every week when I post a video is so awesome. And I really believe that music is a universal language and that we all can actually connect through music because I'm like, there are so many noises going on in the background here. Mookie, my cat is going nuts. Okay. Can you kick him out?
Ask everybody if they're watching on a cell phone or a computer, because we're trying to decide whether we should stream.
Okay, so I have a quick question for you guys, if you can help me out here. So I'm live streaming on my phone for the first time today, and I'm curious, are you guys watching my live stream from a phone or a computer? Because I want to actually hash out a live stream, you know, strategy for the rest of the year. And yeah, I'm just curious, are you guys watching from a phone or a computer? And then that will really help me be able to decide how to move forward with this. Okay, thanks guys. Okay, so it's like half and half. There's like a lot of people on the phone, a lot of people on the computer. So it's good to know. Good to know. Thank you guys. Okay, so looking, I don't know what that, I don't know what that was. It's just a reset. Okay, let's see what y'all are saying. Okay. Oh, we love you, and I love you. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Like, honestly, I'm actually, I'm making it a point to live stream every single week. So, but I don't know what days I'm gonna live stream. It kind of changes depending on my production schedule. But I just want you guys to know that I'm gonna dedicate myself to live streaming. So to be on a lookout for whenever I go live, because I'm gonna surprise you. All right, so, hello, Karra. Do you record and produce your music with WAV or AIFF format? Also, what sample rate and bit depth do you prefer? Okay, Reed, can you help me out on that one?
We do wave
Okay. Yeah, so we do wave and 32-bit flow. Okay, sorry. I'm not the super technical one. Reed is really the more technical, technically savvy producer in our household. I'm more of like the visionary, the voice, the sound, the emotion, the energy that goes into the music. And I actually have learned quite a bit of production this year, which is very exciting for me. But I'm still like learning all of the ins and outs of like the technicalities and like the verbiage that's used in production. So please forgive me if I'm a little bit, you know, slow when it comes to that stuff. I'm learning though. My God, this year I have really improved on my production skills, and it's really showing in all of the videos that we're making. So I'm very proud of myself for that, because as you guys know, learning music production is quite the challenge. There's a lot that goes into it, but I'm here for the challenge. I'll never say no to a good challenge. All right, let's see. What's up, guys? What's up? All right, can I get a collab? Not technically a collab, but if you do want to work with my vocals, my vocal sample packs are on sale for 50% off right now. And it includes 500 vocal samples from me. It's 50% off right now. It's only $29.99. So if you want to collab with me in that sense and use my vocal samples, I would definitely recommend getting my vocal sample pack on sale right now. The only thing is that when you use my vocal sample pack, you are not allowed to tag me as an artist or credit me at all. It's written in the terms of use. If you just go to the website, it says everything, all the rules. So I please just ask you, please follow the rules. I just posted a YouTube video explaining the biggest issue in music distribution, because this is something that I've been struggling with for the past like 9 years, ever since my Splice packs went viral, where I've been getting hundreds of unauthorized releases on my my personal artist pages, and it's definitely a frustrating situation to be dealing with, because these are not actual collaborations, and these are people that are just using my vocal sample packs or ripping my songs and doing their own remixes and then tagging me as a main artist. And so unfortunately I have to get all of those songs taken down because it's not an official collaboration. So I am hoping that in the future these distribution companies and streaming companies actually come up with a better system in cybersecurity, so that people are not able to tag, unauthorized, or people are not able to tag artists that are not consenting to the release. But if you're curious about that topic, go watch my latest video on my YouTube channel. It's crazy. It's crazy what music distribution and streaming services are, basically the state of those companies, and like the security. There's just no security. So, and this is something that I personally have been dealing with, like I said, for the last 10 years, because a lot of people don't understand the terms of use when they use a vocal sample pack. You're not supposed to tag or credit the singer at all, and unfortunately people just don't understand that. And so yeah, so if you are going to purchase my vocal sample pack, it is 50% off right now, and I please just ask you to follow the rules, and so that I don't have to remove your songs from my pages. Yes, you are allowed to release your music. Yes, the samples are royalty free. Yes, I want you to put out your songs, and I want you to make awesome music with my vocals, but I do not want your songs on my artist pages or to tag me at all. Just anonymous. All right, so, oh my God, I got a lot of comments. Hello, Karra, you have helped me a lot in my life. Thank you very much. I am so honored to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. You guys are so sweet. All right, let's see. Wow, you guys are so sweet. We have a lot of people in the house. Oh. All right, I'm trying to get a good question here. There's a lot of good stuff. Okay, so is it hard to shoot those pretty long videos and some of the outfits you'd be wearing? Yes. The answer is yes, it is hard. That's actually a really great question because I take my outfits very seriously because as an artist, I look at my video productions as a whole. So I like to color coordinate. I like to wear something really fun and interesting and cool. And I like to basically channel my inner pop star when I'm, on set and filming all of my studio sessions. And so I do wear a lot of outfits that are incredibly uncomfortable and or hot. Like a lot of the outfits that I wear definitely get, they're tight. So I get kind of sweaty and gross by the end of the day, but I'm putting in that work. What are you gonna do about it? It is what it is. I would rather look cool on camera than to be comfortable, to be honest, because, well, it depends on what I'm filming though. Like if I'm doing a live stream like this, then yeah, I just want to be comfortable. If I'm filming one of my like tech reviews or one of my like budget studio tour, videos, then yeah, I like to kind of dress more normal and more comfortable. But when I'm filming my studio sessions, like that is my one chance where I can really go all out with the production. And so I take my glam, my hair, makeup, my outfit very seriously for those situations because, at the end of the day, I'm an artist and I want it to look a certain way. I want it to feel a certain way and I want it to sound a certain way. So yeah, great question. I love that. Oh, thank you for the helpful videos. It is my pleasure. Honestly, you guys, I just want you to know that you help me by watching my videos, by showing up on live stream, by buying my products, by supporting me. Like you help me just as much as I help you. So I just need you to know that and I want to thank you for that. Every time I view one of your videos, I get inspired and open Logic and create. That's what I'm talking about. You guys have no idea how happy that makes me sound, or how happy that makes me because I feel like a lot of the time I'm just kind of creating in this bubble and I have no idea the impact that I'm having on you or the world. And so a lot of the time I don't know like how people are reacting to my videos. I have no idea how it's inspiring people. But it's always my goal to activate you, to initiate inspiration within you so that you go and create something awesome. So to hear that from you, to see the actual proof of that happening is awesome. And it makes me feel like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Like this is my purpose. My purpose is to activate people, inspire people, and just really just love people because I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to be in the deepest amount of pain and suffering and darkness. And I've overcome a lot in my life. And so music was always that one thing that helped me get through it, being able to channel and create something to express myself. So to be able to pass that baton to the viewer and to you and help you kind of get that same creativity is freaking awesome. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so how did you learn to use Ableton Live? So my husband is Reed Stefan, realest puppet in the game. And if you guys have been on YouTube for a while, then you have probably seen Reed's videos. And Reed was actually one of the first people to like really go hard with YouTube tutorials. And yeah, he started with Logic and then he switched over to Ableton. And so Reed is like a master at Ableton. He's incredible. And I'm very lucky to have him as a husband and as a partner. And yeah, he's taught me over the years. I've also learned how to record vocals in pretty much every DAW, like all the popular DAWs. But it's a lot for me. Like, I'm not a naturally technical kind of person, so it took a lot for me to learn how to properly use a computer, how to use all these programs. But I'm very proud of myself. I've improved quite a bit, and I'm getting a lot more comfortable with the production side of it. Singing and songwriting and all that, I'm easy. Like, that stuff's easy for me. Vocal production, easy. The actual production side, I'm still learning. Yeah. But I got Reed. so I'm very lucky. Oh, I still have Reed's free isotope presets. That's awesome. Very cool. Actually, speaking of free presets, if you sign up for my email list, if you go to imkarra.com and sign up for my email list, you'll actually get a free download of FabFilter presets. I'm pretty sure it's still set up that way. I gotta confirm with Reed, but yeah, go sign up for my email list. Actually, if you sign up for my email list, I do send out like little reminders of when I'm putting on sales. I don't spam you guys. That's like one of my biggest things. When I, started my business and I set up my email list and all that stuff, I really wanted to make sure that I wasn't like annoying people with a bunch of spam all the time. But if you are a member of my email list, you will get reminders of, big sales that I'm putting on. And you'll also get, little blog posts that I'm starting to do on my website to teach you guys about different plugins and stuff like that. I'm also sending out emails where, whenever I post like a big YouTube video, just stuff like that. So like, if you want to hear a little bit more from me personally, I type out all of my emails myself. And with each email, I always try and add a little something, educational to it. So it's not just like complete spam. So yeah, sign up for my email list. You'll get free FabFilter presets. Karra, love your content and music that you produce. What piano virtual instruments do you typically use? So actually, in my upcoming video that I'm posting on Monday, I am using the piano, the grand piano that comes with Ableton, and it sounds incredible. It's one of like Ableton. The reason why we typically use Ableton, we use Logic a lot as well, because we know that there's like a ton of Logic users out there. FL Studio is a little bit of a challenge for me, but my main, and Pro Tools. I use Pro Tools a lot too for vocals. But the reason why we love Ableton so much is because it does offer a lot of really incredible plugins, like stock plugins. And so my Ableton vocal template is entirely made out of stock plugins, and it sounds incredible. And Ableton also comes with great pianos, great effects, samplers, all sorts of stuff that makes it incredibly efficient to produce a song. So yeah, definitely love the stock Ableton piano. All right, let me look. I don't know why I do that every time I look at comments. I'm like, maybe I'm just like releasing some like energy. I don't know. I love you guys. I'm seeing so many sweet comments saying I love you, and it's just like melting my heart. Oh my God, I love you guys too. All right, let's see. All right. Okay. Thank you for offering your wisdom so generously. I'm curious about your vocal health routine. Do you have any unique habits that you recommend or avoid to keep your voice and body fit for singing? What an incredible question, Mira. And I hope you're still here. I know that question was asked a little bit ago. So I do have some tips for vocal health. And one of them being, do not eat any dairy before a vocal performance or a vocal session. You want to eat foods that take away mucus and not create mucus. And this is something that I've had to learn over the years because honestly, I grew up in an Italian family and in New Jersey. So like food, like health food, like wasn't really a thing. So you definitely want to avoid foods that create mucus. You want to definitely do your vocal warm-ups every single day, even if it's just for a little bit. You know, your vocal cords, it's a muscle. And so you have to train it. And, you know, coming from, you know, a mother who is a vocal coach, she trained the fuck out of my vocals. I'm talking vocal warm-ups every day. Oh, and actually, if you're curious on learning how to sing, and I always recommend this for producers as well. If you're a producer, I think it's really important to learn the basics of vocals and singing. And if you're a singer, you should be learning the basics of production. It goes both ways. But I'm doing a 50% off sale on my website, which means my Singing for Beginners course is 50% off. And that goes through all of the vocal training that my mom gave me. I translated it to a video course. So if you do want to learn more about how to get those vocal cords going, check out my course. But going back to vocal health, hot teas. Like I always have hot tea when I'm doing a vocal session. And also work out, because you got to use your diaphragm when you're singing. Like when you're singing, you use your entire body. You're not just like singing from up here, you know, you got to use your entire body. You got to get grounded. So I definitely recommend doing practices like yoga, Pilates, running. Cardio is really great. Just working out in general is, and your overall health is so critical to your voice. And I'm gonna go on a little bit of like a spiritual tangent here, because you know it's been a journey for me as well. And I don't want to like push my beliefs on anybody here, but I believe in the chakras, and so there's something called the throat chakra. And for anybody who is interested in spirituality, you know, the throat chakra, it's the color blue. It's connected to your speaking your truth, you know, learning how to use your voice, how to stick up for yourself. And so when you are learning how to sing or becoming a content creator or a public speaker or just any instance in where you're learning how to use your voice, I really highly recommend doing any practice that helps you unblock your throat chakra so that you can really be heard for who you are and be strong and have a very, very, very strong voice and opinion, and really just being comfortable with singing and speaking. And I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by the cats. Who is meowing at the door? Okay, just a little side note. We have like 7 cats because our neighbor's cats come over too. So it's like a never ending. Someone's meowing at the door. All right, Reed's gonna get my cat. Okay, so anyway, when it comes to vocal health, clear out your throat chakra. So any spiritual practices that you need to do to make that happen. I personally like to listen to frequency music. That always helps me. I meditate. I take salt baths. I use a lot of incense and sage and things just to cleanse my energy. And then, yeah, I recommend working out, making sure your body's fit, because when you sing, you use your diaphragm, and just your overall health needs to be good to be able to have like a really powerful voice. And then, yeah, avoid foods that create mucus and drink a lot of hot tea. That was a long answer, but it was a good question. All right, let me see what you got going on here. Hola, Karra, ¿lo puedes explicar en español? Okay, so I had a couple months where I was practicing Duolingo and I was learning Spanish, and I was actually doing pretty good, and then like life happened and I got off that Duolingo practice. So I got to get back on it. Because yo hablo muy pequeño español. I gotta get on my Spanish, my español. All right. I know that I have a lot of fans that speak Spanish, and so I really want to get better at it. Yes. All right. You guys are so sweet. You have Hispanic public. I am also a Spanish speaker. Yeah, I know. I need to learn Spanish, you guys. That's so bad. I've had a lot on my plate this year. I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram post, if you follow me on Instagram at all, but I kind of explained a little bit about what was going on in my personal life, and why I kind of disappeared from Instagram. And actually, let me read it to you guys and we can talk about it. Junior Love says, muy bien, gracias. All right, let me go to my Instagram post and just kind of like read you guys what I wrote, and then we'll talk about it for a sec, because I think this is important. Where is my Instagram? Do I not have Instagram downloaded on my iPad? Yeah, anyway, I don't know. Let me go back to YouTube. I kind of explained that I went through a really traumatic experience when I released my album, and it really knocked me off course quite a bit. And I had a really hard time, getting up out of bed and continuing to create and be motivated. And, everything that I was working towards kind of imploded and fell apart. My entire life, I was dreaming about being a pop star and really going, down the artist route and making it happen, and writing hit songs and touring and all that stuff. And so when I released my album, and I unfortunately had this really just traumatic experience, and it was one of those things where I was like, okay, this isn't working. This isn't making me happy. What am I gonna do? Because I was having so much success, on YouTube and my brand deals and my website. And I was like using all of that money that I was making from my, career, brand deals, website, and putting it into my artist career. And I unfortunately lost all my money, and it wasn't a profitable venture for me. And it was really, really a sad realization to come to terms with. I did have one really successful release with Underwater that was completely independent, but even then, that song has like 2 million streams, and which is barely any money at all. And so I just couldn't continue to invest all of the money that I was making, on my YouTube channel into my artist career anymore. And so I had to say goodbye to that dream. And I had to really dig deep and find the strength to pivot. And so that's how I developed my hit YouTube series. So, this all goes to show that sometimes your biggest, I don't want to call my album a failure, because it actually, it has like over 200,000 streams. I've developed so many amazing, experiences. I learned so much. I have a lot of amazing fans that really supported that album and support me in general. And so I'm grateful for all of that. But the career path just wasn't working out for me professionally. And so I really had to just focus on the things that were working, and that was my content. And, I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come. I think my studio sessions, they're getting better with each upload, and I'm becoming, speaking of throat chakra, if you guys were here for my little spiel about cleansing your throat chakra in order to get your, true voice. I went through a lot of cleansing and purging and just kind of like reevaluating my life, and I'm becoming stronger. My voice is being heard now from a genuine and authentic place. And I'm, working on something that's successful and helpful to not only you, but to me. And so, yeah, I think it was a hard lesson to learn, and I definitely hit rock bottom a year ago, but I was able to bounce back even stronger and even better. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I want you to know that, even if you view me as like a success, I also have experienced my struggles and my failures. But through the failures, I've discovered, my purpose, which is YouTube and my business, imkarra.com. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. Uma says, I love your videos. It helps me create my own music. I'm so happy to hear that. That's the goal, always the goal. You guys are so sweet. All right. Karra, how can I make chorus to sound consistently like a few vocal stacks into one greater choir, and how to mix that? Okay, so let me think about that for a second. Okay, so in order to get a really wide, big sounding hook, I typically will stack it a bunch of different, with like a bunch of different layers, and I do each layer twice, and then I pan it left and right. So for example, if you wanna get that huge choir sound, first of all, there are a couple plugins that you can use, like Avox Choir. That's a plugin that I use quite a bit. But also you can get that sound just by layering your voice. So say you have your lead vocal, and then you double that lead vocal. And doubling means that you're just singing the same exact thing 2 more times. And then you pan each double left and right. And then you'll say you do the low octave of that melody. And then you do the low octave twice, and then you pan that left and right. And then you go and you do harmonies, and you pan that left and right. And then you do like shouty vocal, you just keep going with the layering until you get to a point where you like the way that it sounds and it's getting you that effect that you're looking for. What is your favorite genre to produce? To be honest, I don't really have a favorite. I like all genres of music, and that's why I love my studio session series, because it allows me to explore multiple genres without having to be put in a box as, an artist that only releases one type of music or one type of sound. And I think that's like a way better approach for me professionally, because I am so versatile and I am kind of like a chameleon when it comes to music and genres and all sorts of stuff. And I like to explore things. I like to do things differently every time. So I really don't have a favorite. I definitely like, hip hop a lot. I like to produce EDM music, but yeah, I really like it all. How did you meet the realest puppet in the game? His videos are so dope, as well as yours. That's a great question. Me and Reed actually met 10 years ago when I first moved to Los Angeles. Right before I moved to LA, I was living in Nashville, because that's where I went to college. And I was featured in a blog called Kings of A&R. And before I moved to Los Angeles, I met up with the guy who actually ran that blog, because he was from New Jersey. And me and Reed were both from New Jersey. And so before I moved to Los Angeles, I met up with him and I said, hey, do you know anybody that lives in LA that's a producer? Because I want to start making music. And he was like, oh yeah, I surf with this guy, Reed Stefan. He's a DJ. And I think he like attempted to link us up and connect us, but it wasn't, I don't know, it just didn't happen. And then when I moved to LA, I downloaded Tinder, and on the first 5 swipes, I find Reed. And I was like, oh my God, this is the guy that this other guy was talking about. And so luckily we matched, and then I went to his house like that day, and then the rest is history. Like we didn't start actually dating until like 2 years later, but we were pretty much dating. I mean, it was a pretty immediate connection, and we just started working together. You know, he was doing his thing by touring and ghost producing for a bunch of people, and then I was songwriting and top lining for a lot of DJs and stuff. So, you know, we would kind of come together, you know, here and there to make music. But yeah, when we started dating, that's when we moved in together, and that's when we really started building out our home studio, and you know, kind of working as a production team. Actually, we were working as a production team. So that's kind of how it all started. Rest is history. Love stories are real, yes. Hey, Illyrium. What up? I know you've been asking me to live stream, and I'm here, bitch. I'm great. How are you? All right, so how to collab and work with Splice as a producer. So I saw this question a couple times, so I'm going to answer this quickly. I personally, when I got my Splice packs out, I was connected to them through a mutual friend who I was working with. It was just another DJ that had just put out a Splice pack, and so I asked if I could please be connected, and he did. And in return, I made a bunch of vocal productions for them. But yeah, it's been so long since I've worked with Splice that I have no idea like the correct way to approach them or contact them or work with them anymore. So I'm so sorry. I wish I had a better answer for you. But yeah, it was just a mutual friend that I got connected. All right. All right, so Neumann TLM 49 or TLM 103? Neumann TLM 49 for me. That's definitely my pick. All right, let's see. The thing which is the most precious to you in your studio? Oh, that's a good question. Let me think about that. Well, God, everything's so precious to me. I would have to say just microphones in general, because I am primarily a vocalist. So mics are always like my main thing, my focal point of the session. So the mic choice definitely contributes, I feel like, the most to the quality of sound that I'm gonna get. So I would say my Telefunken 251 and my Sony C800 microphone are like my most precious items in my studio. All right. What's the music distributor that you're currently using? So I actually, for anybody who doesn't know, I made the very difficult choice to no longer release music on Spotify, Apple Music, or through any distributor. And the reason for that, I'm very open and honest about this because I just want the truth out there. There's just not very much money in it. Streaming, it changed the whole game for musicians and releasing music in general. So I'm not saying that I'm never going to release music again, but right now I'm just like, I'm taking a pause so that I can focus on my YouTube channel and creating amazing studio sessions and content and home studio guides for you guys. And just like sharing my story more on YouTube. I think that's like my primary focus right now. But to answer your question, I did release my album with DistroKid. And if you guys are not familiar with my old catalog, I used to, I've written hundreds and hundreds of songs for DJs and other artists. Like I did a lot of K-pop, J-pop, a lot of, sync placements like ads and soundtracks for movies and video games and things like that. So I'm still getting those opportunities from my old catalog, but I'm currently kind of putting a halt to making new music to release. But I'm focused on making new music on camera for my studio sessions and my YouTube channel, because that's what's actually successful for me. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different journey. A lot of people are still like very successful with touring and releasing music. But I just found that lifestyle to be very unhealthy for me because I am just the type of person, I need to go to bed at a good time. I like to wake up early. I like to, have time outside in the sun and nature. And I just was not doing well when I was going to all of these different shows and festivals and like trying to keep up with this lifestyle that just was not working for me. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of reasons why I chose YouTube as like my primary focus and career path. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. All right. When tracking vocals, how do you maintain the emotion while doing multiple takes? Ooh, great question. So when I'm recording vocals, I kind of just like let whatever you want to call it, a higher power, whatever you are connected to, I let that take over, and I try and get out of my head, and I think less about the technicality behind what I'm singing and more about just feeling it and letting that emotion and that intuition just kind of like take over and dominate the vocal session. Because I feel like that's really where the magic happens, right? So for me, a lot of the time, actually, my first takes are like spot on. So it really depends, but there are definitely situations where I have to do multiple takes and then I comp together like my perfect take, and that's how vocal production is done. It's very difficult to sing things perfectly or in tune or on time. So don't be afraid to like chop it up and comp and edit things either. And I think the most important thing while you're recording is just to get out of your own head, get out of your own way. It's not a life or death situation, just feel into it and enjoy the process. Enjoy singing and recording, and don't take it too seriously to the point where you're hindering yourself from like really tapping into your full potential. All right, let's see. What is your favorite plugin in Logic Pro? I think the Chroma Glow plugin, the new reverb that they put out, sounds really amazing. And I use that in a lot of my sessions. And I updated my Logic Pro vocal template, which, by the way, everything is 50% off right now. So if you are a Logic Pro user, then you can download my vocal template, and there's already a vocal chain set up for you to record your own vocals in, which includes Chroma Glow. FR Studios, I already answered your question on how to collab and work with Splice as a producer, so you can stop commenting that. Thank you. All right, so how do I make recording lead vocals less horrible? Okay, that's a funny question, but honestly, it's really just about doing it and getting comfortable with it. Practice. I know I hate being that person where I'm like, well, you gotta practice. but it's true. Like, you have to remember, when you are watching my videos, you guys are watching a lifetime of practice. Like, when I say I started singing when I was a baby, I actually am serious, because my mom was my voice teacher. I started singing when I was a literal baby. So I've had a lot of time to practice my voice. But when it came to vocal recording, I mean, that was a whole other journey. And so it took me so many years to actually get good at vocal recording and being a studio session singer. And let me tell you, it was frustrating a lot of the time, because you know, it's like learning anything for the first time is frustrating. And so you kind of just have to accept the fact that it's a journey. And like I was saying before, to kind of get out of your own head and not be too hard on yourself, because that's like the ultimate killer of creativity and flow. So for you to get comfortable with vocal recording, you just have to do it a lot. That's literally with anything. Just do it every day, do it. And then eventually it becomes like second nature to you, like another language almost. All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. But this is great. A lot of you guys showed up. I mean, this is incredible, the amount of comments I'm getting here. I've never had a live stream so active, which is great. Which is inspiring me to figure out my live stream setup, because I need to get on it. Your vocals and I'm awake always give me goosebumps. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. You do understand that when you get goosebumps, that means that your soul is like tingling, you know? It's like your emotion, like it's touching you on like the deepest levels of your soul. And so when I hear you guys say stuff like that, that means that my voice and everything that I've been working on, like all the inner work, all the outer work, all the studio work, it's resonating with you. That's fucking awesome. Okay, we need to do the fly on the wall of making a studio session. Oh yeah, I honestly, it would be so cool to be able to do a live stream while I'm filming, but the reality of the situation is that those studio sessions like take all day. And so it's a lot of like waiting around and a lot of like technical difficulties and stuff like that. And it's honestly not that much fun to watch. We have fun moments, but yeah, it's a little bit of like, it's a big project. So there's a lot of boring shit that comes along with it. So it's probably not going to be as exciting as you think it might be. Ooh, how do you get through writer's block? Wow, that's another great question. You guys are crushing the questions today. Okay, so writer's block, I've learned is something that you kind of have to work through, in the sense that if you are getting writer's block, that's a sign that is telling you that you got to do something else for a minute. I typically like to go outside. I like to get a little bit of sunshine. I like to literally just do anything else that is going to maybe get my mind off of like the task at hand and kind of like re-energize me or reinvigorate me or re-inspire me in some way. And so, and then also, if you are experiencing writer's block, I definitely recommend watching my songwriting for beginners course, which is 50% off on my website right now. I give you a lot of really great tips and tricks on how to write songs. And the video is 4 years old. So like the actual video is a little bit, I was just starting video production at that time, but the information in the video is incredible. And so if you are experiencing writer's block quite often, go watch that course. And I think that you will find some new ways to tap into your little songwriter brain of yours. But yeah, for me, I think when writer's block happens, I just got to go do something else for a second. And say I'm like in a session with somebody and, the ideas just like aren't flowing, which happens quite a bit. When I was living in Los Angeles, a lot of my sessions were just kind of like, blah. Like there was nothing happening. No good ideas were flowing. Like you can't expect an amazing song to just like bust out every time you sit down to like write a song. Like it doesn't work like that. You have to find a rhythm and a flow in your own life to facilitate your ideas to come to the surface, at least for me, like I'm very big on energy. Like I need like space. I need a nice flow. I need certain things in place in order for me to like really like be able to do my work and get great ideas going, because at the end of the day, ideas are a channel. So if your channel is blocked, which is why I recommend like meditation, going outside in nature, just like not distracting yourself with a bunch of noise and like really just like going inwards. Those are the types of things that are gonna unblock your channel. And then when that happens, the ideas just freaking flow so freaking fast. That's where I'm at. Like for the session that I'm posting on Monday, I wrote that song in like 5 minutes. Like I am telling you, the melody and the lyrics just freaking came out of thin air. And the only reason why that happened is because I actually prioritize my mental health. I prioritize my spiritual practice. I make sure that I'm healthy. And then I'm going to yoga on a daily basis. And because all of those things matter when you're trying to be creative. Unfortunately, there's a lot more that goes into being creative than just like writing a song or like doing something creative. You got to actually prepare yourself, like your mind, body, and soul, so that the creativity flows. What time is the video coming out on Monday? I'm not sure yet. I typically try and post my videos like first thing in the morning, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. But it really just depends on if I have all of the pieces put together and everything's good to go. Each project, you know, requires a different level of like precision. And so there's a lot of steps that go into making a video like that. And yeah, it just kind of depends. But I'm hoping to post that video by 7 a.m. Pacific time on Monday. You're gonna freaking love it. It's my favorite one I made so far. Karra, could you collab with Kashmir again? I don't know. I mean, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, so we'll see. I mean, we used to do everything together. Like he co-produced my my album. I've did all the vocal samples in his album, and we've written and produced a freaking million songs together. But we just kind of like are doing our own thing right now. So we'll see if we ever cross paths again. That'd be awesome. How do you deal with overthinking or negativity? Ooh. That's a good one. Okay. So as someone, let's start here. As somebody who has experienced a lot of bullying in my life, not only like in real life, but online bullying. Like when I started my production sessions and all that, like the amount of trolls I had was like incredibly overwhelming. And so I was kind of faced with like a lot of negativity. And at first I was not prepared for it. But over the years, I've learned how to kind of like grow a thicker skin. And you know, I've grown to understand that, you know, there are just some people out there that are struggling with their own lives and they project those struggles onto other people. And so when it comes to like hate comments and stuff and like negativity online, what helped me was just like healing myself and just really accepting the fact that the hate comments, it's not a personal attack. It's actually just something that you know, they're struggling with, and it's a projection. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever. And so as soon as that really sunk in, that helped me with the negativity aspect of it. And when it comes to like overthinking, I literally, I can't say this enough, you guys, meditate, go outside. Like I have to be in nature. Like if I'm being blasted with all of these like lights and I'm doing all of this technical stuff all day long, I need to recharge in nature. It's like a requirement for me at this point. And I didn't really understand that because I didn't grow up like going out in nature all the time and like connecting to the trees and the animals and the grass and like all that stuff. And I know that sounds a little crazy, but it works. I promise you. We're part of nature. And so when you really like sit outside and like connect in silence, and I'm talking about in silence, connect with yourself. That's when the overthinking will simmer down a little bit. And you know what? I struggle with this too. Like even this morning, I was like kind of going crazy a little bit because I was so overwhelmed with like all the things that I have to get done. But whenever I get a chance to just like do a lot of like breath work, that's another really amazing, tool that I use to calm down my mind. Get out of your mind and into your body. That really makes a world of a difference. So like if you are struggling with overthinking and anxiety, I get it. I used to be there. I used to struggle with such horrible anxiety and depression. Like you guys, you don't even understand the half of it, you know? But just over time, I really prioritized myself and my mental health. And I found it's different for everybody. So it's like, I don't want to like sit here and say like, yeah, just go outside and you'll be fine. Like, obviously there's a lot more to it. It's a practice. You have to show up for yourself every single day. And you have to discover the things that actually make you feel good. It's different for everybody. Like Reed, for example, he goes to jujitsu every day and he's wrestling a bunch of people, and that's what makes him feel good. That's what makes him clear his mind. Now me, I don't like wrestling and like being physical with other people, so I prefer to just spend time with like my animals, and I like to go outside and I like to do yoga. I like to meditate. I like to listen to a lot of like tarot card readers and just like get in like a good mindset. A lot of mindset work. I had to completely shift my mindset because I used to hate myself. I used to look in the mirror and I hated what I saw. I didn't see, like I saw this like vision of myself, and I knew that there was like a higher version of myself like out in the ethers, but I wasn't seeing that in my physical reality. So it took me like my entire life to like really get to the root of the trauma, to actually heal myself from the inside out so that my mind is quiet and peaceful and clear. Because when you're in that state, that's when the ideas come. That's when you're able to take action on those ideas in a practical way. And so I really value myself. Like my channel is basically the epitome of bridging the gap between the divine, the magic, the energy, whatever you want to call it, you know, whatever religion you believe in, it doesn't matter. It's bridging the gap between the magic and the practicality, the technicality. Because in order to create music, you need both. You can't just have all these like cool ideas and all of this like magic happening inside of your head and not be able to create it in physical form. And so that's really why I make my studio session series and these videos and showing you guys all of the equipment that you need to actually make your ideas a reality. Because if, like I said, if you're just like coming up with all these ideas and you're not able to make it sound like good or like actually bring it into this physical realm, then there's like, what the fuck you doing? Like there's no like there's no product, there's no music. So yeah, so I definitely pride myself on bridging the gap and like teaching people how to bridge the gap between your magic and the physical. So it's like the spiritual and the physical, and putting those two things together to create art. music, a show, comedy, like anything that you want, anything that you're talented at. So I found a way to kind of put all of my talents together, because I do have a really great personality. I am funny. I am smart. I am intelligent. I am a great singer, a producer, all of these things. I really took the time to learn who the fuck I am and how to express myself so that everybody, like you guys, the viewers, the world, can actually see myself as I am in its entirety. So I don't know. I always like to explain that to people, because I think it's really important. Like, you can't just be about one thing. Like, you really do need to have balance. You need to be able to bring your ideas to life. And so the only way to do that is through tech. All right, so I'm going to do 2 more questions. And oh my God, like, I'm having so much fun right now. It's just like, it doesn't even feel like I'm like, you know, I think that's like the beautiful part about what I do. It's like, I finally got to a point where most of what I do doesn't even feel like work. Yes, there are things that are very much work, like the editing and the filming and the making the songs and everything. But I am getting to a point where I'm like in a flow, and things are like coming together a lot easier than they used to, because I put in that work and I built that foundation and I like hashed it out. So I know what I'm doing. I know who I am. And it just makes life a lot easier when you're in that space. All right, so 2 more questions. All right. All right, how do you heal yourself? That's a good one. I mean, there's so many ways to heal yourself, and I think it's important to say that the healing journey, like, it never ends, and it's like always, you know, an expansion, and you're never going to like fully feel healed. But I think, at least for me, like, I've finally gotten to a point where I'm not as focused on healing anymore, because I've done so much of that work, and I'm actually just like existing. And I think that's where most of the healing like actually happens, is when you get to a point where you just exist and you're not putting on a performance or putting on a mask to get through the day or to interact with people, and you can just be yourself and be yourself unapologetically. So ways that I've gotten to this energy in this space. I think the biggest thing for me was definitely mind, body, soul work. You know, you got to figure out a workout routine, something physical to commit to every day, whether that be yoga. Like, I kind of went through this, like yoga, running, jujitsu, like Reed does, like just something, a physical practice that you are moving your body, because guess what? Emotions are stored in the body. So if you have all of this unhealed trauma, it's getting stuck in places, especially in your hips. So that's why I always recommend, even the men, do some yoga, stretch out those hips, because there's a lot stored in there. So definitely move your body every day, stretch. Ooh, did you hear that? My back cracked. Oof. Yeah. You wanna move your body. You want to clear your mind, which I talked about before, meditation, frequency music, all that stuff. Therapy. I've been to so many different kinds of therapy. I've done I've done it all. I've done hypnotherapy. I've done like just normal therapy. I've done EMDR, which is like the light therapy. Just any kind of therapies, like just give it a try. Like you never know what's actually gonna work for you or what's gonna like make things start to click. And then it's also really important to eat healthy. You know, you want to put things in your body that are going to nourish your body. And that's something that I struggle with because I do like ice cream a lot. I like ice cream a lot and I like pizza. Okay. Okay, you gotta have some balance, okay? So don't go overboard with anything, you know, but you do want to take care of yourself. And I think healing, it's all about putting yourself first, and pouring into your own cup and healing all that stuff and releasing all that stuff that has been like building up inside of you so that you can release it for good. You can understand why things, you know, happen the way they did. And you can find peace in your heart, and you can forgive yourself, and you can forgive others. It's just like a much, it's like a freeing feeling. And I think healing equals freedom. And that's what we all want, right? We want to be free. We want to create. We want to be happy. And so put yourself first. Prioritize your mental health. Prioritize your physical health, your spiritual health. Like, it's all really important. And if you want to do a creative career, or just like be creative in general, like, it's important that you're exercising those muscles and putting yourself first. All right. One last question. All right. Okay. Carlos Lopez says I suck at making music. That's okay. I used to suck at making music. You guys should hear my old songs. Actually, I do have one video on my YouTube channel from like years ago where I listened to a bunch of my old music that I made in high school. Like, I recorded a bunch of songs for like the national anthem, like all sorts of stuff, and it was hilarious to listen to it. So it's funny. You guys should watch it. All right. I also think there's art in pain and suffering, just different. Yeah. I think here's the thing. At least like from my experience, pain and suffering is exactly the catalyst that, you know, births beauty and art and creativity and all that good stuff. And so, you know, as humans, we all experience pain and suffering, no matter different levels, different degrees of it. You know, we all experience something, right? And it's how you, you know, nurture that pain and suffering and work through it and release it and kind of like detach from it in a way. Like, you don't want to make your pain and suffering your entire, you know, focus or personality, or just like be a victim of it, you know, because that's not like a joyful experience and way to live, in my opinion, because I've been there. I've been the victim, you know, of my pain and suffering for a long time. And I just kind of woke up one day and I was like, you know what? This isn't doing anything for me. I'm not happy. Let's change things here. Let's become the victor instead of the victim, you know? And so it's like up to us to heal all of our trauma, to be able to enter that space of surrender and freedom. So yeah, while pain and suffering, it definitely is the catalyst for your art. I think it's also important to kind of, you know, nurture yourself so that you're not consumed by it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Post a link to your sign. Oh, okay. So you guys are funny. Okay, so here is my last question. What was your lowest point in your life, and how did you deal with it? Yeah, no, this is kind of like going on the pain and suffering vibe. So this is a great way to end the live stream. So I touched on it before, but you know, I've had a lot of lows in my life. I've experienced a lot of trauma and abuse at the hands of other people, at the hands of, you know, the system. I personally was not a child who thrived in school, and so I experienced a lot of just frustration throughout my life because all of the different systems that I was like put into, I just like did not resonate with at all, and it wasn't conducive to my growth or my creativity or my expression and freedom. And so I struggled quite a bit with just like living life in general. But I think like my rock bottom was definitely a year ago when I dropped my album and everything kind of just like fell apart, and I was experiencing a lot of like really just things that I didn't expect to happen. And it got to a point where, and I've struggled with like really dark thoughts. I've struggled with depression. I've gone through a lot of things that people don't even know that I've been through, because quite frankly, I don't look like I've been through those things. And that's because I did all of that really difficult healing work in private, you know, so that I could show up and be strong and happy and creative and a leader to you guys. So I really took my healing journey seriously. But that being said, I definitely hit rock bottom about a year ago, and I quite frankly didn't want to be here anymore. I had a hard time getting out of bed. I was really just struggling, just like getting through the day. So that being said, how I worked through it, first of all, thank God I had my family and Reed by my side. You know, Reed was definitely the strength that I needed to motivate myself to pivot and try something new. I had to give up my dream, and I experienced a lot of betrayals from people closest to me, and that was really hard to navigate because it's so confusing. You know, when you invest in people and you think that you know, they're your friend, and then you realize that it's actually the opposite, and they were working against you the whole time. And honestly, just the music business in general, it's very harsh, it's very cutthroat. And so I was experiencing so much rejection, and things were just people, places, and things. Like it just wasn't working out for me. And so I worked through it just by following my heart and listening to what I wanted instead of what everybody else wanted, and not taking other people's opinions to heart, and not prioritizing other people. You know, I really had to learn a lot of really hard lessons, and thank God that I did. And thank God I got my fat ass back up and I kept going because look at where I am today. And you know, I'll just leave it at that. So I really appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, we're gonna figure out this live stream thing, but I personally really like to just live stream on my phone and just make it simpler for myself, because my God, I cannot go through another OBS disaster. But anyway, right now I am doing my 50% off birthday sale at imkarra.com. So all of my vocal samples, my plugin presets, my courses, my vocal templates, everything is 50% off right now. So if you want to go snag any of my products, now's the time to do it. I'm running the sale for the entire month of July. So you can have, you know, you can go ahead, look and see if there's anything of interest to you. There's a lot of great stuff there, especially if you are trying to learn how to write songs and sing and produce. Like, I have really great courses with a lot of really great information. And I'm really excited because in August, I'm going to be developing all of my new products. So I'm going to be starting a new serum bank. I'm going to be making a new Logic Pro course. And there's a lot of really exciting things that I'm going to be creating in August, so that by the time Black Friday rolls around, I have a bunch of new products for you guys to enjoy on my website. So anyway, oh yeah, and there's a whole loops, yeah, thank you for reminding me, whole loop sale as well. I need more urban beats. Yes. In fact, Reed is doing a 50% off sale on, right? 50% off? Yeah. So Whole Loops is doing a 50% off sale as well for the month of July. And if you are a producer, Reed has incredible sample packs for drum kits. Disrespectful 808s, that's his, one of his most popular products. So a lot of 808s. Let's see, lead vocal sauce for Ableton. Actually, all the DAWs. He has a lot of different products on his website that's different from mine. So if you're interested in getting a bunch of different sample packs from Reed's website, wholeloops.com, he's also doing a 50% off sale. So shout out to the realest puppet in the game. That's right, Kato. Yes, wholeloops.com. I'll type it in here just so you guys can see it. Check it out. Reed has been, I think Reed's like celebrating like almost 10 years of Whole Loops being in existence. So he's been doing this for a long time. His drum kits, his 808s, everything, and all of on my channel. So if you guys are religiously watching my sessions, you'll definitely see and hear a lot of Reed's samples. So definitely check it out. 50% off. Now's the time to get all of your products from us. We really appreciate you guys so much. We literally, we wouldn't be here without you. And I want you guys to know that. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for supporting us and buying our products. It means the world. So anyway, what a great live stream. You guys are awesome. Great questions. I will be back on live stream next week. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time in another live stream. Love you. Bye.